Hey guys, it's Monday again, and I thought I would do a little Q&A session for you and hopefully get around to answering some of the questions you left me on my last video. I promised I would, so here I am fulfilling that promise. Hopefully yours is one of them. If not, I will do more, so don't lose faith. I will try to answer them all eventually. Okay, so first question then. Beth McGuire asks, is this a new house? Yes, this is actually the third house to feature in my videos. The first one was actually my mother's house. I lived with her before I went away to university. The second one was my second university house. I was actually filming a lighting test when I saw the fridge door open in the background, and so I started filming again then. After that, I kind of took like a year or so out. I just sort of stopped filming. I tried to focus on university and let this stuff sort of lie where it was. It wasn't very successful, and then when I moved here into this house with my fiance, we noticed very quickly that it had started again. So yes, third house in the running, and no doubt we'll be moving again soon, so there's always going to be a fourth one. The Lanimation asks, not really relevant, but what country are you from? I can't really tell from your accent, sorry. I'm from the UK. It's not just a British accent in general, it's a northern accent. So we're from Yorkshire, specifically is the county we're from, and we kind of slay the English language a little bit. We don't say the, we say t, and all sorts of weird stuff. So it's probably why you don't recognise it if you're not from England yourself. Yeah, it's a terrible accent, really. We're lazy. Viper Chin asks, have you ever smelt something weird that's not pleasant when things are happening? Yes and no. Like, I live kind of out in the country a little bit, so sort of foul smells kind of seep in from outdoors quite a lot, so I try not to really focus on them too much, but there has been a few situations where, not recently, but I'm gonna say November, when things were quite active, there was a couple of situations where it did smell, I don't know, kind of like burning wood smoke, I don't know, like ashy kind of smell to it, and I did check outside to see if anyone was burning like a bonfire or anything nearby, but there was nothing, so there's that. I know that's not really a good omen, but seeing as it's quieting down now, I tried not to really think about it too much, but there has been a few unpleasant smells over the space of the activity. Native Dude 49 asks, I was wondering if during the time when it was most active, if you had ever used a Ghost Radar app for the smartphone. I haven't actually used them before. I've seen a couple of people rave on about them, but I couldn't in myself understand how a smartphone was supposed to detect something that they're not built to detect. It's not like an EMF detector's built to pick up electromagnetic energy and changes in the electromagnetic field, but a phone isn't built for that. So how is it possible for it to, like, software change? I just couldn't understand how it'd work. That's not to say I won't try it. If I actually see some genuinely good evidence, video evidence of them being remotely successful, I'd happily give it a go. I'm always open to new things, so not yet, but possibly in the near future. Harry Slee asks, how long has this been going on for? Did you have any paranormal experiences as a child? So the main paranormal activity that I've been capturing has happened for the last sort of 5 years. About 4 years ago I posted the first video, but there'd been bits and bobs before that, that Robert had seen, and it was only when he actually caught the chair moving that I decided to pick up the camera myself and try to capture his stuff. So there's been that. As a child, there was nothing really substantial. Like, when we first moved to this town, I think it was about 11, 12. My dad had renovated the loft of this house that we'd moved into, so we kind of had a loft bedroom, an attic bedroom, and I used to hear like what sounded like sort of guitar strings being plucked, as cliche as that sounds. Nothing like musical, but just like dinging like sounds, and it used to terrify me. We had a guitar, but never used it. It was just sort of tucked away at the side of the loft, and yeah, this used to terrify me. And when I brought it up to my dad, he just said that it was probably the rain hitting sort of metallic objects outside. Like we had some broken pans and bits and bobs sort of just laid at the side of the house, and I could see how like the sound of that raindrop hitting the metal would echo up, say, drain pipes or whatever, and sort of create that sort of guitarish twang. But there was that. I kind of just dismissed it, and it wasn't until this sort of thing started again that I actually put any more thought into it. And so it's a good question. It's something I've actually wanted to talk about for a while. I brought it up in a forum a little while ago, but no one actually replied. So Heidi Neil asks, have you been bombarded with offers from paranormal groups? And if so, what made you decide to avoid them, if indeed you did? Yes, actually I do. My Facebook group specifically gets a lot of messages from groups. A lot of them are just well wishers and hoping everything's alright, offering advice and things, but quite a lot of the time it's actually people not in paranormal groups asking paranormal groups for me to come and investigate. And the reason I kind of haven't invited any over is it's kind of my personal space. Like, even though things have been pretty hectic at times, I've never really felt that I was in any immediate, like, I could genuinely die from this sort of danger. I kind of always got brought up to think that ghosts can't hurt you. I know that's probably not true, and I've seen evidence of the contrary, but that's kind of always been a mindset of mine. And as for an actual paranormal investigation group, it's not quite like getting in an exorcist who is there to get rid of the ghost. A paranormal group generally just want to investigate it and get evidence of their own. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm kind of collecting that and putting it online for you guys anyway. So that's generally why I don't accept those offers. Alison asks, have you ever considered bringing in an actual paranormal investigation team to see if they could also capture evidence? Much similar to the last question. Yeah, it's kind of answered already. I have considered it. I have, because some of these groups, they have better equipment than I do, more money. They could bring in thermal cameras and all sorts of stuff. So in terms of the actual evidence, that's fine. But in a way, like, it's almost becoming a hobby. It's weird. I know it shouldn't, but it is. It's kind of almost becoming a hobby. Like, I quite enjoy investigating this stuff, especially now when it's not so violent. It's genuinely just a bit of trying to communicate, trying to actually capture evidence on video of this thing interacting and proving that there is something there, something afterlife. It's no pun intended, but there is something after. And yeah, I could bring in a paranormal investigation team to do that, and I'm sure they'd walk away with loads of good evidence of their own, but it's personal space. I prefer to do it myself, really. Becca Gosling asks, when did the demon start making itself known to you, and did anything happen in your life that made it attach itself to you? The demon itself, for a long time I kind of avoided calling it that. It was always the entity or this darker spirit, and things like that. I kind of avoided calling it, but I think deep down, since it kind of all began, in fact, that I caught so many growls in the first few months of filming that it was kind of hard to deny that it wasn't something demonic. I was kind of naive to it at the time, so I kind of avoided saying it. But I think pretty much since I started filming this thing, it became apparent very quickly that this thing was demonic. And as for something that happened to bring itself to be attached to me, I really wish I knew. I really do. It's something I'm still trying to figure out. I've asked multiple times family members if they've ever done a Ouija board in the house before it all began, but none of them have, or at least they haven't told me. So I don't know if they maybe don't want to mention it if they did now. But yeah, I've definitely not done one, and as far as I know, they haven't either. So we'll soon find out, I'm sure. Anyway, that's all I got time for, guys. I hope I got around to answering most of your questions. I know I didn't get through them all. I've got a folder full of them, and this video is probably going to end up very long anyway. So if you've got any more questions, please leave them in the comments on any of the videos. Like I say, I sort of save them all and put them in a folder so I can answer them at a later date. If I didn't get around to it, I will try. And thanks very much for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.